Hi, I'm here with Mr. Robbie Owen, founder of H46 Semi-Professional Boxing League, and we are at the Morningside Arena in Leicester. So, Robbie, tonight we will see a white-collar undercard, but we understand that that's drawing to a conclusion for you as a brand. Could you tell us more about that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, Hero 6 Minutes White Collar Boxing was formed at the end of 2015. We've done 42 white collar shows, raised £190,000 for charity, military charities. So we just feel that it's coming to a natural end. Yeah. There's lots of promoters out there now doing sort of like charity boxing, and we just feel at this moment in time that it's time to sort of like break free from that.
Well, I think we can all agree that you've done a fantastic job with the white collar boxing, and we all commend you for it. But we've also heard there's a rebrand of H46PRO. Could you elaborate on that, please? Yeah, so
obviously what we're going to concentrate on now for the next foreseeable future is arena side shows like we've got here at the Morningside Arena this evening. H46PRO Boxing League was formed a year ago. We've done 6 shows since, and it's really taken off. H46PRO Boxing League was formed as a step up from white collar boxing, but we found that we've had a lot sort of like high level amateurs, sort of better boxers joining the league. So we feel that rebranding Heroes of 6 Minutes White Collar Boxing as H46PRO Boxing League Academy, it gives the opportunity for sort of like your low level white collar fighters to progress into the H46PRO Boxing League. So it's twofold basically. So we're doing the rebrand of H46PRO Boxing League in terms of logos, brand. We're also going to be adding in pay-per-view and on-demand next year, which is going to be massive for us. We're also having a new platform built, which will showcase our fighters, help them promote, sell tickets. And then the H46PRO Academy is more about your sort of low-level fighters continuing their boxing journey fundamentally, and then obviously joining into the league at that point.
Excellent. So a fantastic two-tier system being implemented with H46 Semi-Professional Boxing. Today we see the silver light heavyweight title contested between Richard Toohey and Richard Harding. I know that Richard is one of your fighters. In the most unbiased...
Which Richard?
Apologies, Richard Harding.
Yeah.
In the most unbiased way possible, how do you see that fight playing out?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's been a really difficult time for Richard Harding. He lost his title at Skyfall to Jack Wollaston. Jack Wollaston's decided to step down to the super middleweight division, so he's vacated his title. Ideally, we would have liked a rematch at that point. However, Jack Wollaston's obviously decided to vacate the title, which gives Richard Harding an opportunity to reclaim his silver title. He's facing Richard Toohey, who's actually ranked number 4 in the league, so he was the next in line. He picked up a win earlier this year against Richard Brooks, so 3 Richards, if it's not confusing. It is now. So Richard Harding is going to be facing Richard Toohey this evening. Richard Toohey is coming up from Newport. He's a big hitter, big puncher, so Richard Harding's going to have to use his skills to obviously reclaim his title, so that's going to be an interesting one. Could go either way.
Fantastic. We look forward to it. We also see the introduction of a Midlands area title, which sees Manny Singh test his skills against Joe Sands. Can you elaborate on that bout for us, please?
Yeah, that's a really interesting bout. Manny Singh always sells a lot of tickets, so he's going to have a lot of support here this evening. He's fighting a guy called Joe Sands. He's from Kings Lynn. We did a white collar show over in Kings Lynn, and we found Joe. He was obviously at a very good standard. He stands out really well. Big guy, big hitter. So what we did was we put together a Midlands Cruiserweight title because we feel that it's they're both worthy of it. Obviously we've got the Silver Cruiserweight title being contested again tonight as well. So the Cruiserweight division's really populating really well for us because we obviously had a Cruiserweight prize fight down in Cardiff as well. So I think if you blink you'll miss it. It's going to be both big punchers. I think Manny Singh is probably slightly more skilled, but Joe Sands is very heavy-handed, so it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
Excellent. I'm sure we all look forward to it. We see a super middleweight title where Marvel Silver Fox Musiyiwa defends his belt, and we do understand he is the reigning champion. He's got a very good boxing record of, I believe it's 12-2. Can you elaborate on his bout for us, please?
Yeah, Farai, or Marvel as he's sort of more commonly known, is defending his title again tonight for the second time. He's fighting a guy called David Walker. Now, both of these guys contested in the prize fighter down at Skydome And basically they both lost in this respected sort of, well, no, sorry, Farai lost to James Flynn in the semi-final, and then David lost to James Flynn in the final. So James Flynn's an ex-professional, so both these guys really give James Flynn a good test, but obviously James Flynn picked up the £1,000 prize. So these two guys now are meeting for the silver super middleweight title. Now, both of these guys are actually quite light, so even though they're sort of contesting the super middleweight title, Farai and David are probably now sort of more natural middleweights, so they're both extremely skilled, so it's going to be really interesting to see how that plays out.
Fantastic. We also see the introduction of a Celtic title, which will see Jamie Patton pitted against Peter McArdle, who, we have information, has travelled from Ireland for this bout, which is very interesting. Could you tell us more about that, please?
Yeah, that's going to be really interesting, because you've got obviously Jamie Patton, who's from Swansea in South Wales, from my neck of the woods, and he's going to be facing Peter McArdle, who's from Belfast in Northern Ireland. So he's flown in this afternoon for this match, his Celtic title. So that's obviously the green belt. The Celtic title, it's going to be contested at sort of light welterweight, so around about 65 kilos. That's going to be a really, really interesting bout. Both these guys are really skilled. So, you know, again, what you're going to see is you're going to see 4 really, really good, solid rounds of boxing action. And that's going to be really interesting to have a look at. So, yeah, it's an interesting one, because you've got Wales versus Ireland. So the title will either be going to Wales or be going to Ireland. So there we go, happy days.
Well, fantastic, and we look forward to a fantastic matchup between two Celtic nations. Finally, now on the agenda, we have a silver super lightweight title where reigning champion Lee A-Bomb Alexander will defend his belt against Tony Wilson. Just give us your thoughts on that and how you see it playing out.
Again, it's a really interesting one, because Lee actually picked up our silver welterweight title at Skydome. Lee is naturally a 62 kilogram fighter, so he picked up that title. A bit of a shock, really. So what we've done with Lee is we've reclassified him as our super lightweight silver champion. It gives him the opportunity to pick up the new title and then defend it tonight against Tony Wilson. Now, Tony Wilson is a former prize fighter. Again, he competed back again in March time at Coventry. Did really, really well. Tony's got some really good amateur background, so he's going to be pitted against more sort of Lee's raw, powerful skills. So it's going to be, again, really interesting matchup this evening. And again, you expect to see 4 rounds of skilled boxing.
Fantastic, Robbie Owen. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. We have the end of an era with the white-collar boxing, but definitely not the end of H46, who looks to progress and create a 2-tier system for semi-professional boxers in the UK. We have a fantastic night of title fights and semi-professional boxing ahead of us. So, just as Robbie said, don't blink or you might miss it.